a mess, honey. Wait, I just can't. I'm not gonna say anything about it unless you guys say something about it. I don't know if y'all gonna say nothing about it. It ain't nothing. But I forgot to move my roommate's clothes. You know, usually I do everything to try to get everything out of the sight that, I don't want you to see. I'm one of those people that, like, I will not post a picture if my bathroom door is open and my toilet seat is up. Or if my bathroom door is open and you can see my toilet in the background. I'm a Libra. Hi, Libra sun and Libra rising. So my roommate actually is an Aries, right? Sun, and he has Capricorn rising. So there's a lot of Mars there. Capricorn, honey, put them clothes up there and hang them up. So Capricorn, this is going to be your mid-month March reading 2019. What I'm doing is I'm giving you guys like 20 minutes because I got to head out and train some clients. But I will be doing like some bonus reads this for the rest of the month since we have like, 10 more days out of the month. The Libra full moon is coming up. That's in your 10th house, right? Of career, right? Your place in the world, destiny, heritage, family, where you come from, where you're going. I feel like with that sort of energy of the 10th house, you're dealing with some things that you're probably destined to experience, right? Because the 10th house is ruled by Saturn. And right now, Saturn is in your first house, right? Oh, Lord have mercy. Saturn is in your first house with Capricorn, with Pluto. So you're going through some, some lessons, some life lessons, like very in-depth life lessons that are really making you take a really focused look, right? Zoned in. You're like, what do they call it when you change the focus of the lens, right? You're zoning in. A close-up shot, right, of things that are going on in your life that need attention, yes? And it's very much like this idea of like, how am I creating like systems that work? Or how am I going to create systems that are going to work going forward into the future? The card that popped up face up first for you guys is the Four of Michael. So this is talking about being assertive in terms of like shaping your perspective and going a step further, but starting to build foundations based on the knowledge that you have received, right? So it's almost kind of like you are building structures of the mind that are going to sort of like help set in motion, right? This is the Four of Michael, Jupiter in Libra, set in motion, Sagittarius energy. And this is your 10th house, what I'm talking about here. So there's some restructuring going on. There's some processes that are taking place that you are sort of like putting in place. Insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for more sleep or time off, seek relief from stress. Yeah, so it really is saying that this is going to take a little bit off of your load of stress if you start to delegate these systems and these processes in a way that you'll be able to understand them, right? So let me just go ahead and continue to shuffle. Two other cards came out. It's the King of Raphael. So some of you could be dealing with Scorpio energy, or some of you could be dealing with some transformative energy, right? Some of you could be dealing with a water sign male that you look up to, actually. And then there's the Three of Cups here. It's saying that there might be somebody involved in the relationship that you have with this King of Cups person, right? Who is warm, who is loving, who is kind, who is generous. But then sometimes, you know what I mean, they give up parts of themselves, you know what I mean, usually, because the water signs can give up parts of themselves in terms of like power, right? And the King of Raphael definitely knows a thing or two about power, because the King of Raphael is fixed water, and that is represented by the sign of Scorpio. So if some of you have Scorpios in your life, that's your 11th house, which is ruled by Aquarius. So it really is talking about a change of the perspective. And what is opposing that change of the perspective coming into place is your awareness to see that a cycle has to complete based on you identifying with this new perspective and this new concept, right? And with that comes new vitality and new energy and new life, which is why the sun popped out for you guys. I guess the video's frozen again. Ugh, this gets on my nerves, honey. If you guys can still see me, And you guys can still hear me. Mercury retrograde. Sorry, I'm going to keep going. If not, we'll redo it. But you got the sun right here, right? So this is talking about being bold, feeling like you want to represent yourself authentically, because the sun is Leo, and Leo is the heart. And the heart is the most authentic thing in our body. I mean, our whole body is authentic, but the heart is one of the most authentic things that is there, because it's the blood that pumps, you know, that gives your body life, that gives you the movement, that gives you the energy. You know what I mean? This is a wondrous feeling from this card, and it's a 10, right? 1 and 9. So it's talking about risk, it's talking about opportunity, it's talking about identifying with what it's going to, identifying with the risk and the opportunity, and seeing the opportunity as a tool, right? As a way to kind of like close out something or get something done, so that you can move on, so that you can do what's meant for you to do next in your life. You know what I mean? That type of thing, because the sun is also talking about your life, right? And then we've got the 3 of Raphael here, which is the 3 of Cups. This is Mercury and Cancer. You know, Cancer is home and family. Mercury is talking about communication. So this could be communication with the home and family, or communication with the mother. It could even be communication with the siblings, because, you know, the 3rd house is Gemini, and those are the siblings, you know what I mean? And this is siblings, and it's mom. It's mom, and it's children. That type of thing. You know, and the father is represented here, right? Or an older male energy is represented here as the King of Cups, right? And then the sun is here talking about, you know, this is going to be something probably with the family. You guys are dealing with some familial issues here. Let me go ahead and complete the shuffle. Let me just see if this video is going to stop being frozen. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, let me go ahead and shuffle and lay them out. I'll give it 2 more shuffle rotations. They act like they don't want to be shuffled, y'all. Now, I feel like other times that I've done the readings here and it's frozen like this, it's been, you guys have been able, can you still see me? Am I still moving? Jennifer, darling? Am I still like visible to you guys? The sun pops out again. The sun has been popping out so much. You guys dealing with a Leo Capricorn? You have a Leo moon? I'm frozen. I hate that. What can I do, you guys? I'm trying to not be frozen here. This is so crazy. This retrograde. I know, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can get unfrozen. You guys, if the video is not acting right, I'm just going to do it later, okay? So just know that I will be doing this video later if it doesn't work out. Oh, yeah. You can't hear either? Can you hear me now? Okay, it started over. This is crazy. Well, you guys caught that first part. That was really just the shuffling happening, right? All the cards kept popping out. Now I'm going to shuffle and lay it out now that I'm back in motion. Thank God. Mercury retrograde, please. This is the last time, Spirit, because I need to get these cards done. I'm going to train clients tonight, you guys, and it's always on... I'm going to let that one leave. It's always on a Tuesday night when it's crazy like this, but you know it's the retrograde energy. We're just gonna blame me on retrograde. All right, leap of faith, y'all. Okay, so this is Uranus. Uranus is in Taurus right now. Taurus is an earth sign that trines your energy, right? Of Capricorn. Mars is also there. Just things that may have felt secure before may feel a little bit less secure now. And Uranus does that. He comes in, he shakes things up, he shows you how to be a little bit unconventional. Think outside of the box. That is what Uranus is saying to you guys, Capricorns. Think outside of the box, and understanding that thinking outside of the box is really what is going to show you what you're made of, right? Because it's not until we have to come outside of our comfort zones that we it's almost like we trust in ourselves a little bit more after we're taken outside of our comfort zone and we're experiencing something that is challenging us, right? Teaching us a lesson as well, because I believe Uranus is the higher octane of Mercury, is it? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is. And this is talking about, you know, how the universe communicates with you, right? And then that's kind of like the idea of God. Anything can happen. This has risk. This has opportunity as well, because it's almost like there's endless opportunity with this, because it's almost like you're just at the pinnacle. You're on the precipice of something. This is like a new dawn. This is like a new day. This is like a new start. You just have to believe in the new start. Have faith in the new start, right? It's almost kind of like the fact that you're at this point where Uranus is taking its hold on you and allowing you to feel like things are just going to be different now, that's a positive. That's a gift. You know what I mean? That is really a gift. So let me leave that card out. I've already done this. This is going to be so quick, y'all. I'm doing, what am I calling it? Cause and effects. So I'm laying the cards out in that way, and I'm flipping them over right away so that I can just get it done. Okay, this is your immediate influence work. So the Four of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. This is your card. This is Sun and Capricorn. So some of you are feeling like you have to do what you have to do. Some of you are stepping into that identity of like, I know what my will is. And because Saturn is in your sign right now, it's almost like the sun is in your sign. You know what I mean? It's not, but your ruling planet is there. The thing is that you have both of the heavy planets there. So it's really weighing on you the things that you're going to have to do, the things that you're going to have to delegate, the things that you're going to have to understand. It's almost kind of like, I was going to call this reading in and out, right? Inside out, because, you know, Pluto is talking about going into the depths of your soul, or your, you know, your, not spirit, but your soul, and your spirit is your life too. You know what I mean? And it's like challenging you to really transform, see yourself in a different way. You're not the way that you always were. And Saturn is trying to tell you that now, right? It's like, let go, Four of Pentacles, right? Usually holding on to the Four of Pentacles. Let go of the way that you used to do things, right? It's a 4. So it's talking about Aries, identity, right? Will. Let go of the way you used to be, right? Because you can always transform, and that's what Pluto is telling you to do now with Saturn. And they are not going to let up until you do that. You let yourself see this new reality that you are about to experience, right? Once you get through the murkiness of this retrograde energy. And you know, Jupiter is in your 12th house of Sagittarius, right? So that's talking about there's some things that are kind of like growing or getting bigger in terms of what's underneath the surface, which is kind of like, you know, that just kind of like bleeds into the energy adjacent to the Sagittarius, which is you, which is Saturn and Pluto. Pluto is really making you transform and see ways of, you might be experiencing some things from the past, some resentment, right? Some past issues, detoxification of sorts, right? You're experiencing a detox of sorts. Definitely. So let's get started with the rest of the reading. At the bottom of the reading, you have the Queen of Raphael, right? So this is the mother. This is a need to express something emotionally, something out of an emotional placement, something that you feel like you need to nurture, that you want to secure a foundation of something, right? And it's almost like you might be giving someone advice, and this is really heartfelt advice, you know what I mean? It's the Queen of Raphael. follow your heart, a love of home and family, trustworthy psychic information. So some of you are really banking on what you feel on the inside at the core. And that's something that, you know, Saturn is really trying to teach you as well. But Jupiter is doing that too. It's allowing you to see, to feel the expansion of that. That's your 12th house, Sagittarius, and it's ruled by Pisces, yes? And there's a lot of energy going on right now in the 12th house of the normal, of the just basic zodiac, right? Which is in Pisces. You got Neptune there, Mercury's there, the sun is there. We're about to come out of that energy, but you know, your 12th house is almost kind of lit up as a result of that, right? Because those are mutable signs anyway. It's squaring that energy. So there's some challenges that are taking place there between that Sagittarius energy and that Pisces energy, both being mutable signs, yeah? Adapting to changes, adapting to the overwhelming sense that something is about to change and something has to change. It's like getting ready for that big wave. You know what I mean? Okay, or the next wave. I love that. So, the Five of Gabriel is at the top of the reading. That's also talking about security. It's dealing with, you know, like boundaries, respect, right? It's also talking about frustrations because you feel restricted to make a move, right? It's almost like you're in a chess match, you're in a chess game, and you're in one of those points where like the chess game becomes like, you know, hours long. You know how chess games can be really long if the players are really good and they are very protective of the boundaries that they have set in place within the game of chess. Okay, so this is the Five of Gabriel. So that's talking about conflict. It's talking about competition. And it's also just talking about, you know, people wanting to, everyone in the scenario wanting to have it their way or wishing that they could have it their way. So it's almost like you're getting into this place of like maybe pettiness in terms of like people growing anxious about what they feel like is the best way to do something because it's a 5. So it's related to the Hierophant. So it's talking about like, you know, there's some dogma involved maybe. There might be some preachiness involved where, you know, people might be feeling like they're preaching to each other. Everyone's preaching to each other. It's like a room full of people. You know, in sitcoms when like one person says something and then the other person reacts and they're like, oh, you don't know. And everybody's going. And then somebody comes in the room and they're like, everybody shut up. It's like that type of thing. So it could be a family disagreement, a family quarrel, a family not accident. I don't know why I said that, but there could be some accidental slip-ups, right? And that could make some people feel challenged in the ego or the pride, and then that might, you know, set something in motion in terms of like the understanding of what really has to be done. You know what I mean? There's pros and there's cons, and it's just understanding that like just because there are cons, that doesn't get in the way of there being pros. I mean, something might outweigh the other because it's Taurus energy, so it really is talking about seeking pleasure and balance within the experience. So it really is just it's a higher calling for you to see that there is a better way for you to handle the situation. Okay. All right, so now in your mind, Lord have mercy, in your mind you got the Queen of Ariel. That's, you know, you guys are dealing with some mothering energy, some female, right, who might just be all about the money, right? This is Capricorn energy, so she might be trying to initiate something, right, or set something in motion or try to like spark something or do something or turn the light on or like turn a page over on something, because once that page is turned, right, it's like that Capricorn type of energy. It could be Uranus as well. You know what I mean? Being in Taurus, it could be that type of thing too. But it's a female energy, Pentacle, Capricorn, that seems like they might be a little bit greedy, okay? And then you have the Three of Cups here, which is saying that there might be someone else involved in a situation, you know, that might have to do with like communication. There might be three-way communication. Yeah, so it's like a game of telephone, you know what I mean? So some things could be misunderstood, right, within this game of telephone because there's more than one, there's more than two parties involved. But, you know, this is also saying that if you speak up and you speak your mind and you go ahead and just like clearly state what it is that your needs are, right? you will reach a point of satisfaction where you will you'll feel some sort of reciprocity about what it is that you're dealing with in terms of like paperwork or information or communication or talks or just like an ongoing conversation that you're having with somebody. And the threes are talking about wrapping things up. So you're waiting to hear back from somebody about an investment that might have to do with money, or it might have to do with, you know, an institution, or it could just have to do with like something that is owned by heritage. Okay, so now let's look at what's going on here in the water placement. You got the three of Gabriel, so some of you guys are definitely waiting to receive something, you know, that you've set in place, right? It's almost like you had an idea, you set the plans in place, you did something about it, and now you're hoping that, like, you know, everything will work out in your favor. You know, you're waiting for a communication, like I said. Absolutely, this could be traveling over water too to get to that communication or receive that communication. Or there might be something dealing with water. Some of you might even be by the beach or something, dealing with this sort of like issue of there being, you know, one person involved in, you know, in a certain situation that involves, you know, you and someone else. There's other people involved, and you feel like it's kind of getting in the way. There might be like some miscommunications just because of the Mercury retrograde. You know what I mean? So any card that has three that's talking about the third house, it's also talking about Venus. So there's something going on with this full moon. Maybe some of you are traveling on the full moon. Maybe some of you are receiving communication on the full moon, right? Because it's a higher tide. I'm looking at a boat here in the ocean on the beach. You know what I mean? Two boats in the reading. Then you got the two of Raphael here, which is talking about an understanding. That's why I was going to call it inside outside, or inside out, in and out, right? With this communication that you're receiving that's coming back to you, it's going to have you feeling like you've achieved a sense of emotional balance, right? And this is with the family, and this is with the home, and this is with the mother, right? That type of thing. So it's like you guys are going to be creating something beautiful and creating something that's going to feel like it's more harmonious within, you know, you're just going to feel better about it. You know, it's a good feeling. And this is Venus and Cancer. So it's talking about the pleasure of the home, right? Something about feeling good about a home situation that involves choices, hearing back from somebody, communication, traveling. Much is talking about, you know, somebody might be feeling like they know what's best in this situation. They know how to make the best investment. They might not be listening to the other people. Somebody might think like they're right to listen to over everyone else. This could be somebody being a little bit reckless in what they communicate, how they communicate something. And this is somebody that may not be willing to play fair because they feel like they just want to see it their way, right? It might be somebody who might be a little bit domineering or dominant over the situation. It's a 5, so it's fixed energy. You know, it's talking about the 5th house, which is ruled by Leo, right? So somebody feels passionate about something and they're speaking on it. Also, you know, the 5 has to do with, you know, the 5th month, and that's May. So that's Taurus energy, which is related to the Hierophant, which is number 5, and that's talking about respective boundaries. And, you know, be respectful when you're speaking to everyone in a situation, because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and you also don't want to spoil a deal by saying something that is going to offend someone, right? Because you've got the Empress right next to it. Be careful not to offend a woman. Be careful not to offend your mother. Be careful not to get in a situation where you are taking the beauty out of a situation because you have something to prove, right? The result is beauty. The result is harmony. You know what I mean? This is like, if you can kind of like allow yourself to bring more peace to a situation, more beauty and more harmony to a situation, you catch more flies with honey. Okay, that's what I'm saying with you guys. the Chariot is crossing, right? The Chariot is crossing the Leap of Faith card, which is Uranus, right? So that's the moon. I'm talking about the full moon here. This is this is Cancer energy, which is your 7th house. The full moon is in Libra, which rules the 7th house. So this has to do with your relationships. This has to do with contracts, bonds, agreements, right? And it also has to do with something about July, something about moving forward from something that happened in July, right? Or there could be a closing of a cycle from July, or something that happened there. This could even be like, a contract, a bond, an agreement. You could be dealing with a Libra. You might be having a Libra coming in and being the surprise shakeup that brings some change to this whole energy of this reading, because the Chariot is Cancer energy, and that's an initiating sign. That's an initiating force. It's moving forward. It's somebody coming in and bringing wheels to a situation, right? Kind of coming to the rescue as well. Definitely. There might be a Libra coming to the rescue of something, right? And this could be around the full moon. This could lead to victory for you guys, Capricorn, okay? This is beautiful. And then you have the page of Michael at the top of the reading, which is saying that you're learning something, right? There's wow, you have 2 pages here, okay? So there's 2 young people involved, right? Could be siblings. It could be, phases changing, things coming in and changing phases for you. It's learning new information, and then it's also like kind of like dealing with your feelings and how you're dealing with the situation. You know what I mean? Everybody has something to learn here, and this is kind of like a youthful type of situation. There might be some naivety there. Some people might be being naive. Some people might be being naive about the way that they're thinking, about their perceptions and their concepts. They have a lot to learn. And some people are being naive in the way that they're like, they're identifying with the way that other people feel and the way that they feel. Some people might be confused about the way they feel, and they might be confused about what they think. You know what I mean? Anyway, the outcome card in the reading is the 5 of Gabriel. So this is saying that you will figure it out. There is going to still be some conflict, but you have to figure out a way to pull yourself out of the conflict and understand that you want to come out of the conflict. That was a gunshot, I feel like, or something. It might have been a backfire. But that's kind of like a sign here. Come out of the conflict, okay? It says, a challenge you can resolve. Withdraw from the drama of others. Have patience with yourself and those around you, baby, okay? I love y'all. Capricorn, I don't know many, but I know one that I love. Okay, you guys, that was your reading mid-March. Capricorn, I tried to do it fast. That was like NASCAR. I hope you guys got something out of it. I didn't read the cards because I just didn't have time. All right. I'll see you guys later. Follow me on Instagram, NYC Kendrick, Kendrick NYC, Providence Tarot, of course. My food account is The Tongue Pop. Dell and his boyfriend have a page on Instagram, which is called Moon Talk Radio. I'm sure they might be doing something about this Libra full moon coming up. So pay attention to that. Look at that and see what they say about that. All of the cardinal signs are getting something out of this. Okay, you guys? Have a good day.